Welcome back to Great Day Houston. We all go through hard times. It's a part of life, but sometimes we become stuck and just don't know how to move on and get unstuck. Our next guest had a series of tragedies in a short amount of time. He had to figure out how to find his own happiness and get along in life again. Here to explain is John Polish, author, motivational speaker, and founder of the Unstuck Happiness Conferences. All right, which, by the way, there's going to be one in Houston, right?
Yes, this Saturday.
All right, okay. So when you say stuck, oftentimes people get stuck either when their early childhood and trauma catches up with them, or something like what happened to you, a series of things just kind of slap you from nowhere.
Right.
You were married, and just as you were welcoming, or getting ready to welcome a new life, a baby, something happens.
Yeah, we found out that we were expecting a baby on a Saturday. Monday morning, my mom passed away of a sudden heart attack at the age of 54.
Wow. So you're grieving that.
Yes, and in the process trying to celebrate my first child too. Then found out that my daughter had some complications and she was born with trisomy 18 and passed away after just 2 days.
Okay. And how do you take all of that in? What was the impact for you? Because people deal with things in different ways. For you, how are you trying to metabolize that?
I tried to put it behind me and move on as quickly as possible, and didn't realize the impact it had on me. So I now refer to it as a functional depression.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was depressed, but I had alienated everyone around me. I gained like 50 pounds. Like my life took a complete turn.
So basically that stress and that it came sideways, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of run away from it, but it'll always meet you at the finish line.
I didn't feel depressed at all. I thought I was fine.
Yeah.
Until I ended up divorced and alone and sitting in my misery. And that's when I knew I had to do something different. That's when I wrote my first book.
And it was the writing that became therapeutic for you, right? What's the advantage of somebody putting pen to paper about their feelings?
Well, the best part about it is I realized I had this information for like 20 years, and I just hadn't been applying it. So it wasn't like I had to go out and learn something new. I already knew what to do,
right.
But putting it on paper prompted me to start doing it.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of us can tell somebody what to do. It's like, girl, here's what you need to do. Okay, we can't do it for ourselves, but we can tell everybody else what to do. And so again, just putting that pen to paper means that you have to commit your brain to writing something down and seeing it right in front of you. All right, you have the praise graph: people, responsibility, activities, money and finances, and environment.
Right. The 5 areas of life that we all have expectations in. So I tell people that every problem in life comes from an unmet expectation. And what happens when we don't get what we want, it creates a gap, and we fill that gap with a negative emotion.
Yeah. All right. And I love the fact that the 40 Strategies to Living Unstuck is an Amazon #1 bestseller.
Yes.
Sometimes we have these goals in life, and it's like things that were unexpected that become our success here if you allow life to happen, right?
Right.
But you help people to define their ideals, develop your faith, drive on, and persevere. What you're saying makes all the sense in the world, but I know there's somebody watching today who just can't get out of bed right now.
Right.
You know, we know that there are things like the clinical depression, which is one thing, but there are other folks that just can't move on because of something that's happened. And then there are others who it's not really something that traumatic that's happened to them, but they just want to achieve another goal in life, and they just can't take that next step, maybe a new career or whatever.
Right.
And so that's partly what this conference is going to be inspiring people to do.
Yeah, I've been in every one of those positions. I've been where I didn't want to get out of bed, and then the next phase where you believe it could work out, but maybe not for you.
Yeah.
And then finally, the developing faith piece is really about learning that things can work out. So surrounding yourself with people who have great stories, who have overcome, so that you can see that it is possible. And that's really what our conference is all about, is
because
giving
sometimes the biggest person in your way is yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what should we expect at the conference?
10 amazing speakers, all who have overcome great adversity. 6 Houston local speakers. 4 of them will be coming from Las Vegas. We are filming a documentary movie, Unstuck and Happy, at the conference. So there's just amazing stories. Like literally, you can't walk out of there feeling bad for yourself when you hear what other people have been through and see how happy and motivated and
the human
great their
spirit
life is.
can bounce back, right?
Exactly.
Why did you decide to do this first one outside of Las Vegas in Houston?
One of my speakers, Patty Faduli, spoke in Las Vegas, lives in Houston. We were talking about it. We set a goal to do an Unstuck conference in all 50 states. So she wanted me to do one in Houston. I have family here in Houston, so I thought it would be great to be able to do it, with family here.
Yeah.
And then we made the decision literally about a week before Harvey hit.
Yeah.
And so I thought, if we're going to do it anywhere, it has to be Houston.
Yeah, because we exemplified that moment of, okay, this happened.
Absolutely.
Now we had to persevere, hold each other's hand, and move on.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Otherwise, that trauma wins.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. The Unstuck Conference is Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Houston Marriott West Loop near the Galleria. We have a link to tickets at greatdayhouston.com, so you can go, be inspired, and get unstuck.